Well, hi there. As you can see, this is a pretty rare machine. This is 1920 VV-XI, serial number 754732. I usually don't do videos. I mean, I've got a few up on YouTube testing reproducers or gaskets and such. But I thought that this would be important. You don't see too many of these. I certainly don't. As far as I know, it's very rare. This is a factory painted machine. I'm going to show you the machine, then I'll tell you the story. I'll close the doors so you can see. It's painted, lacquer painted, in the Japanese motif, I guess you would call it, on three sides and the top. There was a lot of work to do to get it back to where it needs to be. So let me turn it around. It's on the casters, and you can take a look at it. But maybe I'll adjust this camera just a little bit. There you go. There's one side. And I'll try to pick up the camera. I hope I don't shake too much. I'm an old man. You get an idea. I'll explain what all those scratches and deterioration are in a minute. And I'm going to turn it again. You can see the back. The patent sticker fell off long ago, but it's still in good shape. The machine is. And this is the other side. Let me see if it's in the picture properly. Yeah, it looks all right. But I'll take the camera down so you can take a look. And if I don't shake too much, we'll look at the top. All lacquered. So, I will turn the machine back and then I'll tell you the story. The owner of this machine came to me and asked if I could repair it. And I said, yeah, let me give it a try. Let me take a look at it. This is what I do. I asked him, is this in your family? Was it your mother's? And he said, no. It was my grandmother's. She bought it new in 1920. Now this owner is approaching 80 years old. He's a little older than me. I'm coming up on 75. It was purchased at the Wurlitzer Piano and Organ Store on 120 West 42nd Street in New York. Brand new in 1920. It went from obviously his grandmother to his mother. And he doesn't know how all the damage resulted, how it happened. What appears to be scratches on the sides and the front is really, I believe, the 102-year-old lacquer drying out, the wood dried out, and bits and pieces over the years just fell off. Wear and tear, scratches, I don't know. So when he brought it to me, there was a tremendous amount that needed to be done. A lot of damage, a lot of neglect. And I'll start at the bottom. It needed a whole set of casters, and all the hardware and casters were gone. Both rear feet were damaged badly. On the right side, the pieces of the feet that were normally glued together to create the foot fell apart. The glue dried out and it fell apart. On the left side, one piece of the foot was remaining, and I had to create or make a new foot. But it turned out pretty well. I just re-glued the old pieces down there and made a new one and glued it up, installed the casters. Moving up from the bottom, one of the knobs was missing and I replaced it, and the escutcheon. And I'll pick up the camera and show you the inside. I hope I'm not shaking too much here. There you go. Okay, there's the label. Wurlitzer Pianos, Organs, Harps, Musical Instruments, 120 West 42nd Street, New York City. And the serial number, again, if you can see it, I'll just let you see it because I can't where I'm standing. I'm going to set this down so you can take a look at it. When it came to me, there was no reproducer. The tone arm was unusable. It was just, it was done. The felt, as you can see, has been replaced. And the lacquer, the black lacquer in the area of the turntable was virtually gone. It was scratched up completely. And I had to re-lacquer it. Turned out okay. Under here you see the design of the leaves and the bird, and I don't think you can see it in the camera or with the camera, but when I looked closely underneath the design of leaves, you could see the original Victrola sticker, the emblem that we all know. It's there. And I presume that when this was made, at least the owner told me so, he got the story from his mother, that in those days someone would buy the Victrola, but the painting was a special order, and that's what his grandmother did. Went to the Victrola store, to the Wurlitzer store, ordered a Victrola VV-XI, and asked also to have the Japanese motif done. And what it cost for that, I have no idea, but back in those days I'll bet it was very expensive. In today's money, I have no idea, maybe a couple of thousand, but I don't know. So on top of all the parts needing to be replaced, obviously serviced the motor. The springs were in pretty good shape, but this thing was really, really dirty and dried out. This has been in my in the owner's house here in Arizona, where it gets very hot. He said he had it didn't work, sitting in his house, just didn't know what it was for 20 years. And it dried out. That's probably why a lot of the lacquer fell off or got scratched off, got worn off. I don't know. So I cleaned it. I cleaned it only with cotton cleanser. I think cotton cleanser, if you don't know, is used for antiques and for paintings. It's used in museums. I like to tell people, if you want to clean George Washington's bedroom set, you use cotton cleanser. And then I fed the wood and waxed it with feed and wax multiple times. Every time I put wax on it, it was so dry, within a day it soaked in and it was dry again. So it's a great machine. Great old machine. And it's nice to preserve these old things. I'm going to take a minute and play a record for you. This is what I've done a few times in the videos that I've done in the past. And so what I'm going to play, if I can find it, I got a record here behind the camera. It's Joseph Joseph C. Smith's orchestra. And I think this record is very contemporary to the machine itself. And I'm going to crank it up in front of you so you can see how it works. I should have cranked it up before. But here we go. Sounds okay for an old record. It's a little worn. One thing I forgot to say is I don't charge for this. This man wanted to preserve history. I was happy to help him. He did pay for the parts. There was a lot of parts. And I'm going to do another video about this. I'm putting something down here. You see that orange thing? That's what I called the speedometer glass. And you know, if you are familiar with Victrolas, that these things turn orange and deteriorate over time. And so I did something different. You see what's in there is crystal clear. And I'll do another video about how I did that, what that is, and maybe some other interesting things. So for right now, thank you all very much for watching. Have a good day.